Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do my labor and delivery story. Gemma's down for a nap, so hopefully she'll be down long enough. Usually she takes about a 2-hour nap, but I still have to get ready in that time and everything, so she has about an hour left. So I'm going to get started from the very beginning, and hopefully I can remember everything, but it was a lot. It might be a long video. Alright, so on April 3rd, 2014, I had just turned 24 on March 30th. So we were thinking maybe she'd be born on my birthday, but luckily she wasn't. So April 3rd, 2014, I was induced on that date because of the gestational diabetes the first time. We went in at 7 a.m. I was put in the room right away, started IVs and everything, and I had antibiotics as well. When I went in, I wasn't dilated, I think maybe 2-3 centimeters. So they put something like a balloon up in my uterus where it was deflated, and they put it in there and they inflated it to about 4 centimeters to where I needed to be. And she said, when this falls out, that means you're 4 centimeters and you can get your epidural if you want one. So I'm laying there. I'm not quite exactly sure how long I had it in there, but I knew I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, pee. So I got up. I told my husband, can you help me up? I need to go pee. Do I need the nurse? I got up, and that's when my water broke everywhere. And the balloon was still in there, and my husband ran to get the nurse. She came in. I'm just standing there, and she's trying to pull the balloon out so I can go to the restroom, obviously. And a couple pulls and it finally comes out. I know this is going to be a little TMI, but I want to do the full details so I can look back on this myself as well, because it's a lot of information, and I'm sure as the years go on, I'm not going to be able to remember everything. So I'm 4 centimeters now. At that point, I don't even think I had to go to the restroom. I just think it was the feeling of my water breaking. So they laid me down, and she said, you need to start thinking about if you want your epidural. And I said, I do. And on Army bases, on the maternity floor, there's only one anesthesiologist. So I said, I want it as soon as she can do it. Because I don't want to be stuck not having it in the long run. Because if you wait too long and she's busy, you're out of luck. You're going to have a baby without an epidural. And then after that, the anesthesiologist comes in. They have you like hunched over. Your husband can't be in the room. I'm not sure if that's just military bases. But I'm like holding onto the nurse, hunched over. And she puts the needle in my back, I guess the numbing one, and then goes in with the epidural needle. And there's another guy in there. I wasn't sure at the time what he was there for, but she's in there digging in my back, and she's telling him, I can't find it, I can't get it to where it needs to be, and he's basically coaching her from the other side of the room. So that epidural didn't work. She took it out and said, I'm going to try again. And obviously, if you've had an epidural, it is not fun to even get pricked once. And yet again, I had to get the second time the needle in. Finally, she found it, luckily, but still, I didn't even want to go through that. I was shaking and trying not to cry, but it was finally started working after about 20 minutes, and we're probably around the 3 o'clock mark now, and they keep coming in, checking me. All of a sudden, like, baby's heart rate kept going down, so I had to keep turning from left to right. I'd be on my right side for a minute, they'd leave the room, and her heart rate would keep going down. So they'd rush in and tell me, get on my side. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm probably going to have a emergency C-section, which I did not want, but that was going to happen. It was going to have to happen. But finally, he was like, I'll just check you. Let's see where you're at. And he checked me, the doctor, and he was like, this is why her heart rate's dropping. She's in the canal. Her head was out. Not out, but they could see her head, and he told my husband, look, you can see her hair. So he was like, it's time to start pushing. And so they started getting everyone in the room. Since my heart rate was going to, or the baby's heart rate kept going down, and the monitors he thought weren't keeping track right, they ended up putting an internal tracker, I think, on her head and somewhere else on her body, which I never even heard of that until I had that done. He was like, push when you feel like you need to push, and I was like, I can't even feel my butt. That's how good the epidural was working. So I couldn't feel anything at all. And he tells me they ended up telling me when I was having a contraction and I would push then. I pushed 3 times. On the third, or 2 times. On the second time, she was like, Lauren, if you can't get her out, we're gonna have to use a vacuum. And I was like, oh no, we're not using a vacuum. So on the third push, I pushed as hard as I could and she was out. Beautiful baby girl, 6 pounds 9 ounces. And with me having gestational diabetes, we were thinking, oh, we're gonna have a 9-pound baby, but that wasn't the case. She was healthy and everything was good. She didn't have jaundice, nothing like that. And now, if you know, in military hospitals, you usually have a roommate, and that was very interesting with 2 screaming babies at the same time. We've never been so tired in our lives, those 2 nights in the hospital. The first time I was like, I told Aaron, I said, do not, Aaron's my husband, I said, do not let Gemma out of your sight. But by that time, night rolled around, and the nurse was like, I can take her for a couple hours so you guys can sleep. We were like, please, we need to sleep. So it's definitely crazy what happens. The first 2 nights are no sleep at all. And then